In this next section, we need to edit a document. The document is included in the supporting files for this paper, NX1 Port 02. Now to open this in Word, I need to right-click on the file, Open with Microsoft Word. And here is the open document. Now I need to make some changes to this document. Firstly is the layout, so click on the Layout menu. The page size must be set to A4, the orientation to portrait, the margins all need setting to 1 centimeter. And then I can save the document with a new name in my work area. So File, Save As. I'll save it in the same folder, but I'll call it the same name with the word edited on the end. And I'll save it as a Word document just to ensure that any formatting changes I've made are preserved. Now I need to edit the header to put some information in. So I can double click at the top of the document, and in the header I need my name. In this, on the left, press Tab to get to the center, except that's not at the center anymore because I changed the margin, so I can move the tab to where it looks like the center, enter my center number, press Tab again to get to the right hand side, except again it's not on the right hand side because I changed the margins, so I'll move the third tab to the right margin and enter my center number. Sorry, the center one should have been my candidate number. Down to the footer, I need today's date on the left hand side, so I can automatically insert the date by doing Insert, Field, Date and Time, Date. And I need an automated file name on the right hand side, so I press Tab and once more again move the tab to the margin, Insert, Field, Document Information, File Name. So that's fine. All alignments match the page margins. Well, by moving the tabs I've made sure that that is fine, and the header and footer is displayed on each page. So I can move on to step 9. Now I need a blank line at the start of the document with a title. The title should be right aligned, so click on the Home menu and the right aligned toolbar button. The size of this, so I need to select that text, make it 36 point text. And below it I need a subtitle, so press Enter and enter the text of the subtitle. Both the title and the subtitle should be a serif font. At the moment they are sans serif fonts because you can see there's no little squiggle at the end of the letters. So I'll change the font to something that's obviously serif, like American typewriter. The subtitle, if I select just the subtitle, needs changing to an 18-point font. The subtitle should be italic and underlined and right aligned, which it is already. After the subtitle, the rest of the document needs formatting into columns. So in order to have a different number of columns for the body of the document, I need to insert a section break. So I do insert break, section break is continuous because there's no page break. And after I've done that, I can then go to the layout menu, change the number of columns to 2, and click on columns to change the spacing between the columns to 2 centimeters. Body text should all be sans serif font, so I select everything from the beginning to the end of the document to a sans serif font. Click Home, let's choose a font. Calibri is a good sans serif font. Body text should be single line spacing, so I can right click anywhere, paragraph, line spacing to single, click OK. It should all be fully justified, so I click this 4th button in the justification toolbar area. The font size should be 12 point. There should be a blank line after each paragraph, and the line spacing should be consistent. So blank line and consistent spacing. Yes, that looks okay. In the left column, before the first paragraph, I need to enter a subheading. And the subheadings need identifying, and they must all be italic. So I select this first subheading, make it italic. Sans serif it is, 14 point. And with some space below and above the subheading. And it should be 1 line space below the subheading, which it appears to be, so I'll leave that as it is. Now, all of the subheadings need the same style, so I can use the Format Painter tool to select the current style and apply it to each of the subheadings in turn. So I select the text that already has the formatting I want, click the Format Painter tool, scroll down to the next subheading, and click to the left of that subheading to select it and apply the font. Now that one didn't work, so I'll try that again. And again. Next I need to find a table in another document and insert it at the end of the document. So this other document is also in the supporting files folder. This is N1 Export 02. So again I'm going to right click, open this in Word. Here's a table, so I just copy the table, Command C to copy it. I'll minimize this window, and I want to insert this at the very end of the document. So I'll go to a new line, Command V, pastes it. So there's the table. I'm going to need to make some changes to it though. First, make sure it fits within the column width. Well, it does, so that's okay. I need to make sure the font matches the body text of the document. Now most of the body starts off with this sans serif text. There is some text that's italic, which it shouldn't really be, so I'll take this opportunity to make the entire text of the document consistent. And then I can apply the same style to the text of the table. Now the fact that the background is black means I can't see it, so if I right click on the table, borders and shading, I can make sure there's no fill inside the table, and now the table looks fine. Now I need to merge the cells in the top row, so I select these 5 cells, click on Table Layout, click on Merge, and this top row should be centered, so click Home, Center, and underlined. Now to edit the borders of the table in the most flexible way, I can click on Tables and use the border drawing tool. So I want to draw a 3-point line around the outside of the table, so select a single line, 3 points, click the draw tool, and I'll just draw in the 4 borders. I can deselect the draw tool and continue with the rest of the instructions. I need to find an image of a harbour, port or boat to insert on the first page below the first subheading. So I'll find the correct position first. Now to insert the image I could use the clip art browser, but the selection of images in that is rather limited, so this time I'm going to use Google Images. So I open my browser and first just do a Google search for a harbour, and click on images to see the images, and something that looks like a nice harbour with some boats in it would be this one. Click on it, click on full size image, right click, copy image, Command Tab back to Word, and Command V pastes the image. Now the image needs resizing, so right click, Format Picture, size, the height of the image should be 3 centimeters, and because the aspect ratio is locked, we saw the width automatically changed appropriately. So that's okay. The image is still there. It's placed in the correct position. It's aligned to the left margin, but I need to make sure the text wraps around it as shown. So again, right click, Format Picture, Layout, and I can choose square or I could choose tight. Either one would work. And there's a blank line to delete. And there we go. Now, to spell check and proofread the document, you need to read it carefully. But I'm just going to look to see if any words are underlined in red to show that the spell checker has found any mistakes. No, it hasn't, so I'll leave it alone. I see there are some blank lines here I don't want, so I can delete those. I need to look for widows and orphans, that is, lines that are by themselves at the top or bottom of a column or page. I don't see any, so that's fine. And there are no blank pages. So now I can save the document and print it. And that's the end of this section.